Imagine winds so fierce they uproot centuries-old trees, tidal surges so powerful they swallow coastlines, and a storm so massive that it carves a path of destruction across an entire nation. This is not a scene from a disaster movie. It's the terrifying reality for millions of Filipinos as Super Typhoon Manny wreaks havoc, its fury unmatched in recent memory. Why is the Philippines already battered by 5 major storms this month, facing yet another catastrophic typhoon? And how does Manny compare to the storms that came before it? Let's dive into this unfolding story of resilience, chaos, and nature's raw power. On Sunday afternoon, Super Typhoon Manny roared ashore in the northern Aurora province, its second landfall in less than 24 hours. Packing maximum sustained winds of 185 kilometers per hour, 115 miles per hour, and gusts that climbed to a staggering 305 kilometers per hour, 189.5 miles per hour. The storm tore through the region, uprooting trees and snapping power lines like twigs. Residents of Aurora described the scene as apocalyptic.
Iso nga eh. Hindi na ba ito? Doon na sa MDLR. Ano? Diyan. Ikakali ko na ito?
Massive waves battered the coastline, whipped up by howling winds and torrential rain. Entire towns plunged into darkness as the typhoon felled electricity poles, leaving Catanduanes Island, its first victim, entirely without power. Authorities acted swiftly to minimize casualties, urging tens of thousands to evacuate to safer grounds. Emergency shelters in Aurora and nearby provinces are now overflowing with families seeking refuge. For many, these evacuation centers are a stark reminder of the fragility of life on an archipelago that lies squarely in the path of the Pacific's most powerful storms. Pagasa, the Philippine Weather Agency, had warned of a potentially dangerous and life-threatening situation, urging residents to stay indoors and prepare for prolonged power outages and widespread flooding. On Saturday night, Manny made its initial landfall on Catanduanes, an island province in the central Philippines. The storm unleashed sustained winds of up to 195 kilometers per hour, 125 miles per hour, ripping through homes and infrastructure. By the time the sun rose, the entire province was without electricity. Roads were blocked by fallen trees, and communication lines were cut, isolating the island from the rest of the country. Though initial reports indicate no casualties, the true extent of the damage remains unknown as rescue teams struggle to reach the hardest-hit areas. Typhoons are no stranger to the Philippines, but Manny's intensity raises questions. Scientists point to rising sea temperatures, fueled by climate change, as a factor in the increasing strength and frequency of these storms. The warmer the ocean, the more energy these typhoons have to grow into catastrophic events. Manny is the 6th major storm to strike the country in less than a month, a sobering statistic that underscores the urgency of addressing both local disaster preparedness and global environmental challenges. The storm also triggered massive tidal surges, with waves engulfing coastal areas in Aurora. Video footage from local news outlets showed water rushing into homes, streets turning into rivers, and fishermen's boats tossed ashore like toys. For many coastal communities, the sea is both a livelihood and a threat, one they must now reckon with on an unprecedented scale. Despite the devastation, the resilience of the Filipino people shines through. In evacuation centers, volunteers distribute food and water. Neighbors help each other salvage what remains of their homes, and local officials work around the clock to restore order.